Hey, welcome to this week's Try Praying. This week I've managed to drag my wife Emma onto this episode. They're not really episodes, but this week's thingy. Yeah, so each week I've asked my guest when they've come on, this is the first time it's not on Zoom, but I've asked them if they have any Netflix suggestions. See, with us, I know what we've been watching, but I haven't told anyone. So, is there anything that you would suggest for people to watch on Netflix?
The Office. Only
Classic.
the American version, though.
Yeah, we found.
one isn't good.
Yeah, so we watched the American
US.
version,
Yeah.
and it was a lot longer, wasn't it?
Just get invested in the characters. You see their whole lives. It's great.
Yeah.
The UK one. Let's try and
That's a very main. I mean, everyone's watched The Office, but if you haven't watched The Office,
Well, but we're quite new to The Office, aren't we?
yeah, we are. So we're kind of losers. So if you haven't watched The Office, that's a must.
Yeah.
Any others?
What else have we watched? I've got a bit of Firefly Lane.
Firefly Lane.
Firefly Lane.
And we liked it.
It was so good until the last episode.
The
and
ending
I'm
was
gutted.
awful. Although we can't ruin it.
No.
Um,
But it just doesn't end.
But yeah, watch Firefly Lane because it's really good about two girls that became like best friends. And
It's
you
a
kind
bit
of
like
see it
This
in
Is
like
Us.
I don't
You
know what
haven't
that
seen
is.
that.
No. But you kind of see like three different times of their life. So
Yeah.
when they were young, when they're like in their early 20s and
Like 40s.
40s when they got kids. That's actually a really interesting one. Maybe you should watch that. That
It
is
is good, but you have to concentrate.
Yeah. So, this Monday, we are hoping to hear about, I really hope, some kind of relaxed lockdown, the relaxation of the lockdown and a path as to where we're going. So I thought now would be a good time to ask, what are you most looking forward to about being out of lockdown?
I mean, everything.
Yeah.
I just really want a holiday. I know it will be probably the last thing we can do,
Yeah.
but I just want
I don't
to go
think-
somewhere hot and nice.
I don't reckon we'll be able to get out of the UK this year. I
No.
mean, this summer.
I don't. So, if we're not saying holiday, then just seeing people.
Yeah.
Getting a bit sick of you.
All right. She doesn't mean it. She does. To be fair, I think I'd get sick of me too. I'm not so sick of Emma, but I just think that's because I'm a better person than her. So, like, I've obviously got more patience than her.
Or you're a lot more hard work.
Or I'm a lot more hard work. It could be either way. All right, let's crack on with what we're doing. So, at the moment, we're doing this Try Praying series, and we've been going through like different elements of prayer and hopefully journeying together on this like journey of understanding prayer, but also of increasing our prayer life and learning how to stay to be talking to God each day and finding routines to do that, and also how to listen to God. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about thankfulness and the place that being thankful has in prayer. And I guess to open that up, it's worth asking, why is it important to say thank you to God?
I think it's like saying thank you to anyone else. I mean, we say thank you. I mean, we're British, so we're very polite.
We say thank
Say
you to
thank
everything.
you to everyone for everything. And so it is partly just, if you're in relationship with God, you thank Him. I think it is quite like basic, and because the Bible tells us to.
Yeah.
But I think the first one, mostly, it's like, obviously it's important, the Bible tells us to, but mostly it's just, I don't know, it's just, that's relationship,
We thank God
isn't
because
it?
we're in relationship with Him.
Yeah.
And
like, imagine if I never, ever thanked you for anything you did. It would
Imagine.
Just be like, imagine.
Imagine every time I did the washing up, you never thanked me. Imagine. All right. So before we end up having domestic on screen, what do we say thank you for then? If we say thank you to God just like we'd say thank you to anyone else, what is it that we're saying thank you to God for?
I guess for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hard one because it feels like, well, I think, it feels like a lot of the things that we would say thank you to God for, you kind of just are like, well, they're nothing to do with God. They're very like, you know, I don't need to wake up every day and thank God that, you know, I live in a house and I have food. But it is like things like that.
Do you think sometimes we almost just forget how much God's
Yeah.
given us because we're so used to it?
I think so, because we just take it for granted, and it feels like you only thank God for like the big things and the miracles, or like if you see breakthrough somewhere. But it's just, I think the little things
I guess
are important.
I guess if I was constantly going back to the washing up, if I did the washing up every single day,
if you did the washing up,
if I did the washing up constantly every day, did like a big clean of the whole house, okay, then after a couple of years, it would just become what I did, and you'd probably forget to say thank you.
I just expect it.
Exactly,
It
because
wouldn't
it's
be
what
like
you've always had.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anything special. I wouldn't be like, wow.
It's interesting because we're doing this series at the moment, Dangerous Faith, with the rest of the church. And I find it interesting looking at what we've got in our quite comfortable lives, you know, where we're not oppressed in much of a way. And we don't often say thank you for that. You know, thank you that we got the freedom to do anything really. And actually, being in lockdown, almost when we come out lockdown, we'll feel more thankful for the things that we took for granted. You know, being able to have friends, being able to go to a restaurant or to go get a coffee, or, you know, the little things.
We don't ever remember to say thank you, but as soon as it goes wrong, then we get annoyed.
Then we realise,
like it's not. I don't know. It might just be me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not thankful
definitely
in my day-to-day life, but then if something's taken away, I'm like angry at God. Why did you take that away?
So what do we do if we're not feeling thankful? If we're not in, you know, sometimes you're just down. You don't feel grateful about life. You actually feel a bit cheesed off at it.
Yeah.
What if you're not feeling thankful? What do we do?
Well, what I find helpful is, I mean, I've found this helpful especially in lockdown when everything, you know, feels a bit rubbish. We've had a few weeks recently where it's just felt really hard, and I think those times, especially when I really don't feel thankful about anything, I start my time with God, or I just go and I start my prayer and list things I'm thankful for. Even like really basic things, I try and like think of like 5 things. You know, thank you that the sun shined today, that I know I had a 5-minute coffee break. You know, like little things like that. Try and think of like, they can be the tiniest things. And I always finish feeling a lot more grateful and just a bit lighter and happier, and I'm less focused on the negatives. I think forcing yourself to try and pick anything out, as basic as it is.
So would you say that's how we can get in a routine of thankfulness then?
Yeah, I think so, because it definitely doesn't come naturally. Like I went to a talk once, and they were talking about thankfulness, and the guy said, try and at the end of each day write down 5 things you're thankful for that day, and they could be the most basic things, like thank you that I had nice dinner, or I don't know, anything. And I did it for a while, and it's something I need to get back into, because I've just found that in my day-to-day life I was noticing things more. I just think it is taking the time to actually notice, because there are things to be thankful for. No matter how hard life is, there's always going to be something to be thankful for, even if it's the smallest thing. I think
so. Each week I'm asking my guest to give us a challenge for the week. So do you want to set us a challenge for the week of how we can bring thankfulness into our lives?
Well, I'd say exactly what I just said. So 5 things, even a week, 5 things a day though is great. Anything, list 5 things each day and thank God for them. And I just think you feel so much better.
So do you think we should write them down, or just in our head, or does it not matter?
I think write them down. It's intentional. You can see them, you can look back, and if you're having a bad day, be like, yeah, but the other day I was thankful about this, so I can still be thankful for that.
And I think we're not always going to be feeling thankful.
No.
But doing this challenge, I think writing down these 5 things each day will be brilliant for us to almost, like you said, be intentionally thankful, and getting into this routine of thanking God.
Yeah, and I think it does take being intentional.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen.
No.
No one wakes up every single day of their life
And
is
thinks,
like,
Johnny,
wow.
thank you so much that it's raining and
This is
drizzly
amazing."
outside. All the plants are growing.
Yeah, it's
Those
just-
people are a bit annoying. People that almost seem
Yeah.
like everything's amazing 100% of the
because
time.
it's just not.
No,
Like,
and
life can be hard, and
it's choosing. Choosing
you have to
thankfulness,
just choose
isn't it?
it. Yeah, you do.
All right, so I'm going to end this in prayer, and hopefully we can go and have a week of thankfulness.
Yeah.
So let me pray. God, thank you that there's so much for us to be thankful about. Thank you that you are such a good God. You created us, you created the world, you created everything good. Every good gift comes from God. And Lord, I just pray that you help us to be more thankful in our daily routine, for it to become the norm for us to thank you for things that we often forget that you've done for us. So Lord, will you help us this week as we write down these 5 things each day to focus on you and all those gifts you've given us. In Jesus' name, amen. So I managed to drag you across to this week's, what's the name of them? Try Praying series. So, thanks for joining me, Emma.
That's been
and
great.
we'll
Nice
see
to
you
get
again next week.